Well, I'll get to see them soon enough.
Oh no! Hey Internet, it's Jessica and welcome back to Seduce Me, the episodes, and today we're going to take a look at Diana's episode, which is the Succubus' Sacrifice. I believe this was made last year, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but anyway, before we get started, if you guys would like to check out the game yourself, there's a link in the description where you can download it, and if you would like to support the creator, who is Michaela Laws, and also the voice of Diana, I'll have links to her stuff as well. Alright, so, if you did miss my Let's Play for Diana's Route in Seduce Me, one, I have a link to it as well, and then we're gonna jump into Seduce Me 2 afterwards, but I'm wondering what this is gonna be about. I never would have believed it. No matter how many times I looked back on it, I could never imagined it. My entire world is now a world full of magic and wonder, and it was all because of one person, Diana, a succubus. Oh, are we back in the demon world? Is this like after? Diana was the one who caused my entire world to change. She's the one who brought the boys to my home, the enticing incidents of the change in my life. She showed me magic and life beyond the human world, and I would forever be grateful for her to that. However, one fact still haunted me. Diana was also the person who murdered my grandfather. In the act of desperation, she had come to the human world and sacrificed my grandfather's life to get here. It was a choice she obviously didn't want to make, but she had no other choice in that matter. I felt both pity for her and a small form of torment from the situation. My grandfather was a man I loved very much. He raised me like his own daughter, and I didn't even get a chance to say goodbye. It was a tragedy. Still, I had to understand why. My curiosity desperately clung to the word. Why was there truly no other way? Diana, let's go to my grandfather's grave.
What? Why?
I want to visit him. Come with me.
Very well.
Diana was surprisingly obedient, despite being the one to place my grandfather in the grave. She already proven to me her regret and sorrow, but I could tell that she was holding back something. I needed to know what it was and why my grandfather had to die for her. There had to be something else that she could have done. We traveled in silence to the gravestone once more, where my grandfather was buried 6 feet under. The stone slab was clean as ever and no one was around. It was only fitting as the cloudy sky above us let the rain fall upon us, and soft mist enveloped the area. It was almost picturesque to stand in the graveyard, with the atmosphere the weather was giving us. Still, we stood at the foot of the grave, staring at the engraved letters in the stone. I held a black umbrella all over my head, as Diana conjured a clear umbrella between her arm and side. Oh, this looks very pretty, by the way. Oh, man. I mean, you could totally tell Diana, feels bad for it, but it's just, the only thing she was thinking about was her family, right? Because they were gonna die because of, what happened with the Demon Lord. So, I'm not mad at her for it. As I looked over to Diana, I watched as she formed a vase with lilies in her hand, cupping it gingerly and becoming lost in thought. Diana?
Yes, dear?
Can you tell me what happened? Diana stared at me in disbelief and confusion.
What happened?
From the beginning, I wanted to know everything that happened and why he had to die. Diana looked back to the grave and pressed her lips together into a fine line before nodding and closing her eyes. I embraced myself for the story that I probably didn't want to hear, but it was one that I had barreled through in order to quell my curiosity in my heart.
When I was born, I was brought up to be the perfect princess. I was given lessons on every subject known to the demon world, and studied almost endlessly on harnessing my powers and ruling over a kingdom that would one day be mine. As I grew up, I began to master my powers and eventually became known as the most powerful succubus in the demon world. By the time I was old enough to be, as humans say, a teenager, I was making armies bow to me in allegiance and obedience.
That's why she's more of a queen than a princess. I smiled a bit. Seeing her lips curl into a nostalgic grin, I could practically imagine it.
Down! Bark!
Amazing! That's incredible.
Ooh, it's her dad.
Really? Thank you, Daddy.
Aww.
Sir, a message.
Huh. Hand it here.
Father?
Well, I have to say, I'm very shocked.
Dear? What's going on?
The Demon Lord is willing to consider our offer.
Are you certain? What offer?
Oh shit, this is when she's gonna marry off to one of the sons.
An offer that will save this kingdom is there. A marriage proposal.
A marriage? Between me and one of his sons?
Yes, Saero. Are you upset with us?
No. I understand.
Huh.
You do?
If I can help this kingdom by getting married, then I will do it.
That's true, because Diana was just all like, I don't care, because she wanted to protect her family.
We're proud of you, dear. We're so happy you understand.
When I learned of my engagement, I became determined. I was confident in myself that I could protect my kingdom and become both a perfect bride and a perfect queen. My parents met with the Demon Lord, and eventually came back with the name of my intended.
James?
Reisrael, the eldest son. It only made sense. He was the one in line to take his father's throne, and I was the only child of my family's kingdom. For a while, anyway.
Oh yeah, her sister. A while? Diana smiled brightened a bit more as she closed her eyes and chuckled to herself.
In my kingdom, the rulers are charged with only giving birth to one child per generation, to ensure that there is no slaughter for the throne. However, as I reached adulthood, I was told that I was no longer going to be an only child.
Mother, father, you wish to speak to me.
Zaire, we have something very important to tell you.
Important? What is it?
Zaire, I'm pregnant.
What?
Uh-oh.
You're pregnant?
Yes, you will be having a sibling.
I was astonished. I didn't know how to act to such news. I knew of our family's traditions, so I was stunned. I was going to have a younger sibling?
Please, say something.
Finally, as it all settled in, I was overjoyed. The thought of having a younger sibling was too exciting to hold in. When I would be in the Demon Lord's castle being a queen, my parents would be able to bring up a new heir to take my place.
Yeah, so of course she would be so happy about this. She just doesn't have to worry. Because if she was the only child, so then it's then like who's gonna take on the kingdom of her home, you know what I mean?
I'm so happy. This is wonderful.
I remember the joyful looks on my parents' faces when I told them of my excitement. I would later learn that the baby would be a girl. A younger sister.
What will her name be?
Orabel. I was given the option to name her, and my parents accepted it.
Oh, that's a beautiful name. Diana smiled and nodded in agreement, her eyes painted in longing perfectly in her expression.
I cannot wait to see her.
Oh
When I
no!
left, she was still within my mother's womb.
No! Because I already played all the voices for Seduce Me too. I know what happens. No! If you want to know the full details about her sister, please play Eric's route in Seduce Me too, or you can check out my Let's Play for Eric. Oh my god. You left before Orabel was born?
Yes. I had little choice in the matter.
What? What do you mean the wedding is dissolved?
I'm sorry, Princess. The Demon Lord's sons have disappeared.
This can't be. No, I must speak to the Demon Lord.
Oh shit.
Princess?
I must speak to him.
When I learned of the boy's disappearance and the possibility of my marriage dissolving, I panicked and rushed to the Demon Lord, begging to allow me to find his sons and bring them back. I was thankful that he agreed, and I spent every waking moment I had trying to find their trail. When I did, I ripped it open and came through myself without a second thought. I still remember that day.
A gate spell. How could I have been so blind? They didn't just vanish. They left this plane for the human world. Damn it!
My princess. What should I tell the Demon Lord?
Tell him I found out where his sons have gone. Once you deliver the message, go back to Lilith Castle.
Now I'm just thinking, because, like, in Seduce Me 1, Diana was a bitch. Like, she's a complete bitch. And I'm just thinking, I know Michaela said she didn't really develop Diana's character until Seduce Me 2, but I'm just thinking on the lines of the story, was she just being bitchy just because this caused a lot of stress for her family? I'm pretty sure that's the only reason why she was being a bitch, you know what I mean?
Back to the castle? But what about...
I'm going to the human world alone. You need to send word to them and tell them what happened.
But what will I say?
Tell them their daughter is protecting them. If they demand an explanation, tell them everything. Now go.
As you wish, Your Highness.
All right. Time to find my husband. I recast the spell and found myself entering a hospital where your grandfather was visiting.
Yikes.
As the gateway closed, your grandfather took his last breath and passed away before he even realized what was happening.
Dude, that sucks. How could he have not known?
I was draining his life energy to maintain the connection to him through the gate spell. I overpowered his will to fight back, and locked his focus so he couldn't see me coming.
That's underhanded.
That's the instincts of a demon. We strategize and overpower our targets so that we can take advantage of them, human or demon.
Diana let out a sad sigh before gripping the vase in her hands.
The moment he took his last breath was the moment I realized what I had done and became racked with guilt. I ran as far as I could and wallowed in what I had done to that man, questioning everything I was doing and why I was doing it. But soon enough, I became filled with purpose once more. I had to find the boys. I had done too much damage to try and turn back, so I had to go all of the way. I shook my grief out and returned to my hunt.
So is this like before they went, because again, remembering the ending of Seduce Me with her, she just took Mika and was like, let's go back home, like kind of thing. I'm just wondering did they leave to the demon world? Or were they just like hanging out somewhere else and then Mika was like, oh, let's go see my grandfather or something? Because like, I feel like if this was in the demon world or by her home, she would fucking know that her family is like murdered. Then you found me.
Then I found you, dear.
Diana looked at me, her eyes full of guilt and self-reflection.
I can never take back what happened. If there was any way I could undo what I had done, then I would. I am truly and deeply sorry.
It's okay. At least now I know. Diana was genuine enough to open up to me about the whole ordeal. It almost looked like a heavy weight had been lifted off of her shoulder, just from the sigh that escaped her lips at my reply. As she looked at the grave, she knelt down and placed the vase on the gravestone.
I wonder what my parents will think.
I'm sure they'll understand, Diana.
Well, I'll get to see them soon enough.
Oh no! Oh my god, everything that I know about Seduce Me 2, it just fucking sucks. Oh my god, poor Diana. And Orabelle. Diana smiled and turned at the sound of her sister's name.
And Orabelle. I'll finally be able to meet her.
Oh, damn it! However, despite my words that rang out from her lips, her hand gently grasped mine.
I still have more to teach you, so I will not be leaving yet.
Okay, so this is when they didn't fucking fly off into the sky. Alright, that makes sense. I felt glad that she was willing to stay and keep teaching me, despite what happened. While it was her punishment for killing my grandfather to tell me everything she knew, she was willing to stay and keep her word instead of running back to where her family was. I was a bit honored. I'm glad. Thank you.
Who knows? Maybe I'll bring you back with me so you can meet my parents and sister as well.
Oh, I'm so sad now, because now I'm thinking like when we get to Seduce Me 2, we're just gonna get there and everybody's fucking dead. Oh my god. Really?
For a while, anyway. I'll have to take care of the Demon Lord, since I failed to find his sons.
I'm sure you'll be fine. No! Oh no! Oh no! Damn it, Michaela! Damn it! Oh, hashtag long live the Demon Queen. Well, that was Diana's special episode, and I did like it because we get to learn a little bit more about what happened with her and the grandfather. And even though we know this story through Seduce Me 2, it's a little bit more in depth, especially with her parents. So that's good. Now I'm sad because I'm thinking about her sister and her parents. That really sucks. Okay. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Seduce Me, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe to join the companions. And if you would like to get the game yourself, there's a link in the description where you can download it. And please check out Michaela Law's stuff so she can make more games like these. I know she's working on a game right now, so please go, if you can, go to her Patreon page and pledge to her so she can continue making it. We'll just jump into Seduce Me 2 and fucking have our hearts broken. Maybe Saero won't be so mad. I hope he won't be mad, because I really like Saero, you know what I mean? He's gonna be so jealous. Anyway, and if you like to support the channel on Patreon, there's a link in the description. You get early access to videos for Patreon only, the Discord server to come and talk to me, and a bunch of other exclusive stuff. Or if you would prefer, you can check out my store. That is another way you can support me as well. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Oh! Ooh! That's, ooh, good thing we didn't buy her a drink. Okay! Oh, right! Oh, that's a CG. I know I have to still blur it, but that's a CG. Okay.